Can we now reinstate our governor of Rivers State, Fubara? Can we now call for Mr. President to reinstate our governor? We condemned so far entirely the declaration of state of emergency. Call the attention of Mr. President to what is going on in Osun State. If you declare a state of emergency in Rivers State, what happened to Osun State right now? That there is coffee. There's no coffee in Rivers State. We never have shooting in Rivers State. We don't have coffee in this state. So why do you declare state of emergency? Mr. President, if you have declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, we urge you as Rivers Youth, as Niger Comrade Imeabe Xavier Oscar, the National President, South-South Youth Initiative. In addition, and in support of the statement that has just been read by the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Ms. Rita Gift Jumbo, I want to add by saying that if His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Rivers State, Fubara, was suspended on the issue of state of emergency, we are also aware that we have one of those persons that is in the presidential cabinet, which is also the FCT minister, with Barrister Yesomezo Wike, who happens to be the collaborator or the one orchestrating most of these crimes that is going on in Rivers State. We want to ask, why is it that the minister of FCT or the FCT minister wasn't suspended, knowing very well that he is the architect of whatever is going on in Rivers State? We are aware that the FCT minister, in his wisdom, does not mean well for Rivers State. We know what Rivers State suffered under the former FCT minister when he was the governor of Rivers State. We are aware of what we suffered, the hardship, the 5,000 job opportunity that Rivers State was promised by the former governor of Rivers State did not see the light of the day. He went further to propose a 4,000 job opportunity at the cassava processing farm in Tubay, entire local government of Rivers State, and commission it with the assurance that there will be 4,000 job opportunity, which did not see the light of the day. As we speak, the store administrator that has just been appointed by the president has visited the State of Assembly. That was also said or asked or directed that it was not under completion or under construction. Now, considering the fact that the State of Assembly is near completion, just like the minister told the president that the State of Assembly was not anyway, was not in construction by the minister. Now that the store administrator has confirmed that this place is under near completion, can we now request that the governor should be reinstated, considering the fact that most of the reasons that was given by the president to declare a state of emergency, that there was shooting in Rivers State, and that the governor was not actually constructing the State of Assembly that was actually demolished. Now that we have confirmed that this State of Assembly is near completion and that there's no shooting in Rivers State, which was the reason the president declared a state of emergency, can we now reinstate our governor of Rivers State, Fubara? Can we now call for Mr. President to reinstate our governor? We condemned so far entirely the declaration of state of emergency, and we do not see the reason or see the need for the declaration of state of emergency in Rivers State. We are not in support of the state of emergency in Rivers State. So we ask that the sole administrator currently, with the level of development you have achieved, or the level of development you've witnessed so far, with what we are told, or what you were told by Yesom Wike, the FCT minister, that there was no peace in Rivers State, considering that the fact that there is calmness in Rivers State and there is peace in Rivers State, can you now resign your position as a sole administrator and go back to establish and build and live on the fact that you have built a good legacy for yourself? At this point, we want to say that the South-South Youth Initiative, under my leadership and my humble self, will not and will never welcome the sole administrator, and we don't appreciate it, we don't welcome it. We condemn it totally, and we condemn the state of emergency. We want to, at the same time, call the attention of Mr. President to what is going on in Osun State. If you declare a state of emergency in Rivers State, what happened to Osun State right now? That there is coffee. There's no coffee in Rivers State. We never have shooting in Rivers State. We don't have coffee in this state. So why do you declare state of emergency? Mr. President, if you have declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, we urge you as Rivers Youth, as Niger Delta Youth, as South-South Youth, to go further and declare a state of emergency in Osun State if what you did was justifiable by your action.
Press statement issued by a coalition of youth organizations in Rivers State on Monday, 24th March 2025. Fellow comrades of National Youth Council of Nigeria, Rivers State Chapter, and other youth bodies, gentlemen of the press. In recent weeks, Rivers State has witnessed political developments that has raised serious concern about the integrity of democratic governance and constitutional order in Nigeria. These include the Supreme Court's ruling, legislative actions against former assembly members, the declaration of a state emergency, and the appointment of a sole administrator. These matters require careful examination within the framework of constitutional democracy. The National Youth Council of Nigeria, Rivers State Chapter, and other youth bodies remain committed to the rule of law, democratic principles, and the constitutional rights of our people. Nigeria operates under a constitutional democracy where governance must be guided by legal and democratic processes. While Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, grants the President the power to declare a state of emergency, such action must be based on clear and justifiable conditions, such as war, natural disaster, or a complete breakdown of law and order. It is imperative to determine whether these conditions apply to Rivers State. Democracy thrives on due process, and any action that undermines the will of the people must be critically assessed. The Nigerian Constitution does not provide for the suspension of a duly elected governor or the appointment of a sole administrator in federating units. Federalism guarantees that state governments derive legitimacy from the electoral processes. Any deviation from this constitutional structure risks setting a dangerous precedent for Nigerian democracy. The National Assembly has a constitutional duty to uphold democratic principles and ensure that all executive actions align with the law. Legislative decisions must reflect national interests, not weaken democratic institutions. Maintaining the integrity of legislature is essential for public trust in governance. As youth representatives, stakeholders in the future of Rivers State, the National Youth Council, Rivers State Chapter calls on all parties to uphold democratic values and ensure political stability. We acknowledge the electoral mandate given to the Excellency, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, and emphasize that all disputes must be resolved through legal and constitutional means. We call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to consider the declaration of a state of emergency and ensure that all actions align with democratic principles and constitutional provisions. The National Assembly reaffirms, we also call on the National Assembly to reaffirm its commitment to democracy by ensuring its decisions uphold the rule of law and federalism. The judiciary to remain independent and uphold justice in governance-related matters. We also call on civil society organizations, the international community, and democratic stakeholders to advocate for the protection of Nigeria's constitutional democracy and due process resolving political disputes. We also urge the youth and people of Rivers State to remain calm, law-abiding, and united in defense of democracy. Political stability is crucial for every economic growth and investors' confidence in our state. We reaffirm our unwavering commitment to a democratic Rivers State and Nigeria, where governance is anchored on constitutionalism, the will of the people, and the rule of law. Thank you, and God bless you. Build the youth.
Build the nation.
Signed, the Acting Chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Rivers State Chapter, the Secretary, National Youth Council, Rivers State Chapter, Niger Delta Youth Movement, South-South Youth Initiative, Ijaw Crocodile Movement, Rivers State Ethnic Youth Leaders Coalition, United Port Harcourt Youth Movement,